Okay.
You guys ready?
Right now, dude.
I, 31-year-old male, told my girlfriend, 30-year-old female, that she's not a trophy wife or status symbol, and that we are similar in attractiveness. She views it as me calling her old and ugly. So here we go.
This guy's stock is rising.
A bit of background. My girlfriend and I are 30 and 31. We've been dating for about a year. I work as a high-level engineer at a good firm, and my girlfriend works as a payroll specialist at a good firm too. I make significantly more than her, 3 times. Things were good in our relationship until I showed her my retirement/savings. She now doesn't see the point of working and has started framing our relationship in that she is the beautiful one and I am the nerdy engineer that's lucky to have her. Before, when we met, it was all about making her own way. Eventually, she's starting her own company with her sister in sourcing and recruiting. But now she jokes about driving a Range Rover and wearing Lululemon and going to yoga. We were going to have a discussion again about this trophy wife stuff, and she brought up that I was nerdy back in the day while she was very popular. I told her she's not a trophy wife, that yes, she's attractive, but there's not a huge difference between us. I told her that it had been the case. I told her that had it been the case that I met her when she was 22 and I was my current age, then sure, but she isn't 22 anymore. After I said that, she started crying like crazy. She started.
Oh, that's the cool guy of the week.
She started saying that I think of her as ugly and used up, and that her best years are behind her. She just told me that if I'm not happy with her, why am I even here to stop wasting her time? I tried to talk to her, but she was in no state for a conversation. I love that this engineer is like, I don't know, autistic with social problems.
Actually, based on the numbers, I'm not than you. It's actually you're no spring chicken.
I've actually got a flow chart that'll explain all this. If you,
Let me finish it.
Yep.
What is it floated that I'm a whore?
I don't know what to say. Guys, for me, I just want to say that I think we're of similar attractiveness. Like, I don't think anyone, when they see us, turns their head and like, oh, who is she with him? Because of money? Or damn, he is lucky to be with her. I think it's mutual. She was the one that, if anything, went after my attractiveness first. What should I do? I like the fact that we both work, and I don't want to change that dynamic. And I don't want her to think that she is above me and that I'm so lucky to have her. I want her to think of us as equals. In my attempt to do that hurt her feelings. What's the next move?
Well, you want to get that autism diagnosed first. That's your first step. Right?
Even I could see that.
Online, and I passed all of them.
I think actually here what's going on is I think you already, if there is a winner in this, I think you already lost it. Because like just going here and going to this platform to just, like going out there and airing out the laundry to try and figure it out. It's kind of obvious that, she's just like, I don't know. She just doesn't give a like what. I don't know. It feels like she's.
I know what you're saying.
I need to hear the rest. I don't know what he's saying.
The fact that he went on Reddit to ask for advice about all this.
I feel like he's gonna I feel like her doing the stuff that she's saying, being like, oh, it's like you think I'm used up. Like she's already appealing to his humanity, and like there's already just it's tough to say, and this is why it's hard for me to verbalize. It's like because it's secondhand. But I sense the beginnings of manipulation on her part, and it's so set in already that's why he's here on Reddit. It's like, no, it should be really easy to be like, I'm not comfortable with just one of us working, and the fact that you think I'm worthless because I was a loser in high school or whatever is just, I don't know. I feel like she maybe she liked being the better one. Maybe she liked being the catch in it. And now, I don't think she is, as time went on, but I just feel like she's already starting to manipulate him.
I think a lot of her self-esteem and self-worth are tied up in her looks. And he just took a big swipe at that while at the same time putting forward, his financial security, which is like a double punch, like a 1-2 punch at her because she is not financially secure. He just hurt her feelings really, really badly because he's a little autistic and he didn't know how to handle that situation in a way that wouldn't completely destroy this lady that he apparently is in love with and is in a long-term relationship relationship with
very
her
fucked.
feelings. So
So-
he fucked up. It's not a perfect relationship, it's, but I bet he's probably misreading some things, based on how terribly he read the room.
You know what?
Here's
part
what
of it
I
is-
think. I haven't gone yet. She wants this to be an equal thing, right? So she went into it thinking we're both of equal attractiveness. We both have careers. We both have health insurance. Everything's cool.
Wait, sorry to interrupt. I thought she didn't think that. I thought she was the one that.
Yeah,
I
I think
she
she
thought
went
she.
Hold on,
she
let me
she
finish.
fancied her-
I'm
Okay, sorry.
getting here. So she thought that everything was balanced. She learned that he earns triple hers. So now she repainted it to say, you might earn
yeah,
triple,
maybe.
but here's where
Okay.
my value comes from. I was this hot, popular chick in high school.
Yeah.
I'm the trophy. I'm this, I'm that. So we're still of equal value. Clearly, career-wise, I'm a fucking wimp at this, and you're a stud, but I've got this other thing. I'm fucking mega hot trophy chick. That's why we're
Yeah,
okay.
my first.
And he's
thought was
like,
that she
no,
was-
no.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought she was
awesome in
manipulating.
career and we're equal in looks. You're not my equal. And she's having a hard time realizing that, I don't know. Like there is a
No,
power
I
balance.
think that's possible. That's a second theory that she did have like a panic moment because like you said, Kyle, it was all at once, like a back to back. So maybe she was like, "Well, I'm the hot one," and he was like, "What? The hot one? Neither of us
Maybe
are
10
hot."
years
And
ago.
she was like, "Yeah, I am the hot one. Like, you're a loser. You were a loser in high school."
Kyle
Like,
just
it could be a
texted me.
panic
She's been
thing.
rotting for 5 years. Jesus, Kyle.
I was expecting a text.
According to the Woodworth formula, I do. You can see right here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I think the biggest issue here is just that she's like, "What? Now I could do jack shit." Like,
Oh, yeah, you
no,
might be
like,
right.
that's the most
But I
annoying
definitely see
thing.
her trying to find a way to balance it. She learns
she's
that
like,
he-
she's like, I have a successful husband. I could be one of those dumb bitches that just stay at home and don't have anything to do. And like, she's like, there's no kids.
lay a
just wants
comment
to
here, people
chill.
watching. Do you think
She just
that
wants to chill.
Do you think that she saw his salary and got lazy, or she saw his salary and tried to find some other area where she could provide value? Because I think that's where Harley and I separate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to both. Like, I
Yeah.
do. Like, I looked at it one way, and then you started to talk, and I was like, "Wait, you're completely wrong." But no, I
I bet
understand
he
what you're
said it
saying. And
very statistically and meaner than he thought it was.
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
he was for sure like, "We're both ugly.
Yeah.
We were both nerds."
But like I here's this fun thing. Like I autistically am like, what is the best way to handle that? You could go with the lie
Yeah.
and say, yeah, baby, you're way better looking than me, and just suck it up and let her feel better. But that's not fun. That's not a win, and that's no commitment to honesty.
Win.
he just-
No, I know
it's
a win
so
is when you
simple.
both feel good coming out of it. Like,
Yeah.
can I go a little longer? Like, if you're cerebral about these conversations, you think about how you want this situation to end and target getting to there instead of winning or putting her down or whatever. And I don't think he did that. I don't think he said, here's where I want to be at the end of this conversation. I think he just said, no, I'm as good looking as you are, without thinking
think-
about what that would do.
I think that's the thing here is ultimately at the end is she's like, what should I do? Like he's asking like what to do. It's so simple, but the problem is he's probably already shared it to her that he's not comfortable with. This really just comes down to that he's not comfortable with her not going to work. And she's just like, you think I'm ugly? And it's like, no, I don't. I think we should both work. And she's like, you think I'm ugly? Like it's so lost in translation that I just imagine that he already expressed it to her, but what
Yeah.
should he do? There's not really anything you can do if you told her.
Maybe
funny.
any
You
point
just
he
gotta
was gonna
really-
make got lost in the ugly perception. Yeah.
Here's where I saw. You might be right, because he definitely says, I like that we both work and don't want to change that dynamic. So there's something to what you're saying.
Isn't that the only
But-
thing he wanted in this?
I think what I read into it was a little bit of like, fuck, bitch. Like, you got to blow out my candle to make yours burn brighter. That's what she went straight to. Oh, well, then you're just not as good. I see how much money you make. Maybe you haven't
But-
seen how much better looking I am.
Yeah, but see, it wasn't done that way. It was done the guilt way. Even the way he wrote it is she views it as me calling her old and ugly. I think it is, there's like a lot to unpack in this because there's so many angles to it. Like I'm trying to say, like, is he already feeling bad about it, or did she like kind of like,
no, those people don't have feelings.
like, I
Who
mean,
are
like,
those people? Well, women or autistic men? I can't tell who we're talking about.
See what I mean?
she was like, you think I'm ugly.
Digs at me. Taylor, you haven't gone yet. What do you think?
I mean, I think you guys have kind of hit every base here, every possible base. She went into the relationship, I think, kind of with the, an understandable thing for a woman going, all right, this guy's going to be a very successful guy going forward. He's going to be an engineer. He's going to be making a pretty penny in 5, 6, 7 years. And, he's not nearly in my league, but with my looks here and his looks there and his money moving him here, then yeah, I'm kind of the trophy partner. And then as time progresses, she imagines that it's still here, but his perception is that the looks were always here and the money's moving him up a little bit.
Yeah, they just managed to hurt each other's feelings terribly by being honest.
Yeah, they were too honest, and there's nothing worse for a relationship than honesty.
You need a thick base of lies, right?
Yes.
When you build a relationship on a lie, it's just a formula for long-lasting love.
Every conversation with a long-term partner should begin with you panicking, trying to remember what lies you need to maintain.
Yes. I use a Rolodex.
Yeah, well, I've got an app for it.
Yeah. As someone who's had a few phones taken by the authorities, you don't want that, all right? You want something
great app. It's called Boys Will Be Boys. I actually run it. It's $2.99.
I think relationships would be based on honesty. That's why every 5 years I get Jackie a card that says I allow you 1% higher body fat.
No, you know what? Relationships should be built on a mutual fear of loneliness. That's what it should be.
And the threat of violence.
And the tacit threat of violence. Nothing overt. You just have to...
Yeah, no evidence, no text messages, anything like that. That'll get you some hot soup.
Maybe instead of sitting and watching movies together on the couch, you bring a speed bag up there. And while you're watching The Office, you just hammer it.
I got a question about just a hypothetical with, like, imagine this scenario here. Everything's the exact same, right? You're this guy, and she says to you, she's like, oh, like, does that mean I can wear Lululemon and drive a Range Rover to yoga? Like, you guys are all like, no, you keep working, right? Or you're like, oh, no, I'm making bank. I'm getting more girls. Or like, what is it? What would you guys, like, realistically, this is a person you love.
They're not married, right?
And they're like, no. I don't. Okay. But so it's a girlfriend you're contemplating. Yeah, you would just be done with it?
Yeah,
or
she's go.
Even just for her saying the comment, oh, you got that money, I could do nothing. Just for the comment, you'd be like, no, you're done now.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's a personality flaw. That ain't going away. She's not going to realize she made a mistake because she doesn't believe she made a mistake. That's how she feels.
So, and now this is the question I want to ask. What if she said to you, oh, can I chase my dream? Like, will you help me do that? Like, I want to be an artist. Will you help me be an artist? Like,
I want to make candles by Jan, and this one's Bonfire. Like no.
You don't like that?
No, she's got to go. She's
honey, these wine and paint evenings have very quickly become wine and paint.
Okay, what if she wants to be a Twitch streamer? No. What if she wants to I'm trying to think of something good.
A totally realistic dream, then you got to support her.
Look, I'll support unrealistic dreams. I have no problem with the dreams and supporting dreams if it's a good person who means well and is loving. But I don't like how she reacted to finding out he had money, and I don't like that she revealed that she's this whole time sort of felt herself to be the superior one in the relationship, like she's been doing him a favor. Now it's time to cash the favor in or something. It almost feels that way.
That's a good way to put it.
I had a longtime girlfriend who had an absurd business idea that was very personal to her that she pursued for a long time.
Can you go into what it was?
God damn it,
You don't have to. If it's funny, I was seeing, but I don't want to.
It is funny. It is funny. It's a stupid
know.
thing that she
Can you
wanted
write
to
it
be.
privately in the
Yes,
Discord?
yes. She wanted to do that. All right.
Oh no,
And
that's
it was-
dumb.
Porn star,
And it
was
was
she
like-
hot enough?
You professional.
I don't want to get into that. That's gonna give me some hot water too. You know the. Anyway, and so I knew that was a stupid idea, and she had taken these courses for it, and she had and I was just like, you're not qualified for that job, and that job doesn't pay well. That job pays well when you're like a super successful person already, and then you leverage that. You say, hey,
Mhm.
I did this, now I can do that. Would you like to hire me to do that for you? They're like, fuck yeah, you did all of this over here to the left. I want some of that over here in my world. But she didn't have that. So it was just like, who would hire you? I wouldn't hire you,
what's
and I
interesting?
love you.
It's similar to like a 17 or 18-year-old being like, I'm going straight into motivational speaking. It's like, but you don't have any life experience. You don't have any stories. You don't have any like, I was in Uganda and I saw a boy drinking from a puddle.
But
with
you know what's
Right.
funny for
Yeah.
you know what's funny for someone like that is, like he said, like for example, going to courses to learn how to do that. Like if you love that and you know you're not going to make money, you're like, I guess there are other people out there that want to do this, and I don't have crazy life experiences, so I'll just tell people how to do it. Now it's just like a bullshitting thing is now you're teaching a course on a bullshitting thing. It's like you've really figured out the business behind it in that particular scenario.
Yeah, exactly. It made no sense, but I supported it. I paid her rent. I took care of, it was cheap. It was $500 a month. It was like, yeah, I'll pay your rent. Of course, I love you. And you're pursuing your dream. And in the back of my head, I'm like, and as soon as you wake up, we're going to find you a job back in that career that you were building for 3 years before you got this stupid idea in your head. And you'll go right back into there. And I'm sure they'll give you that job in middle management right back. It'll be great.
Yeah, they just hand out middle management jobs to people who leave on a whim.
Nah, she was talented at this other thing she did. Like, she was making okay money, like plenty to pay all of her bills and still have some spending cash. She wasn't becoming wealthy, but I wasn't paying her rent either. So, but yeah, if you love someone, you support their things. If this trophy wife of his wanted to go, make candles or become a travel agent or whatever the fuck, I could see supporting that to an extent, but I don't like how she treated him. I don't like what she revealed was in the back of her head this whole time for years now. I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
I take offense to her. She found out the money, and then all of a sudden she wants to live this life of luxury and leisure. And it's like,
So hear me out. Sorry to interrupt. Go.
No, like if you instantly start spending my earnings, that's a red flag for me. That's an indicator that she might not be the life partner I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think we can go even a little deeper again, because I'm starting to look like there's so much to unpack, even the way it's written, I think like it would be valuable to hear her side of this.
Oh, for sure.
Like I would really, really like, I feel like as the more we talk about it and discuss it, I feel like there's like a whole missing part. The way this is written, this person is so dry and like, perhaps on the spectrum that like, what if she was like, oh, she's like, you have 80K. Wow. She's like, I guess I can get a Range Rover and go to yoga and Lululemons. And he's like, well, you can't do that. You have to be working. She's like, what? You think I'm not hot enough to be one of those dumb bitches? And he was like, well, we're on equal comparisons of how we look. And she's like, are you serious? You think you look as good? And that maybe that's the tone.
Yeah.
And now he's here.
Yeah. Maybe he
like,
can't. Sarcasm
doesn't
does
know.
not play with this guy.
Exactly.
Very
maybe
possible.
Started off as a joke. And he was like getting offended. And
I've
then
seen-
by not understanding it, he actually started to offend her.
I've seen that happen. Some people can't read sarcasm. They can't tell that it's a bit or that you're being silly
Yeah,
with them.
exactly.
Like my sense of humor is really dry. That's gotten me in trouble in a lot of relationships where like my sense of humor is very dry sometimes. And I like to do this thing where I act like I feel a certain way and I play to get a reaction. And then but at the end of it, I'm going to be like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. But now they're crying. And I'm just like, I really didn't mean it. I thought you were playing along with me that whole time. I didn't mean any of that.
Minus the crying, I literally do that like 3 or 4 times a day with my girlfriend. I trap her in a bit that's like some stupid ass bit, and she's like, "Wait, when is it over? And when is it like?"
If you're on the other side of that,
and they'll feel stupid they'll feel like you've made them look stupid. In my situation, my girlfriend felt like I was making her look a fool on purpose when really I was just being silly. Like we were at Six Flags and it was like a triple date or something like that. And one of the we were in line for a roller coaster. So I was just bullshitting. And I was just like, the Scream Machine was actually built in 1967, Coney Island. They took it apart piece by piece and trucked it down here. Donald Trump actually owned it at the time. He sold it to the Six Flags Corporation and they reassembled it just as it was in Coney Island. It's a little bit faster though now. And my girlfriend goes, "Really?" And I went, "No, no, not at all. I'm just fucking with you." And she got so red faced and she slapped the shit out of me.
You told me the story. I knew there was a hit. I was going to ask. I felt a slap comes.
Really?
Yeah. I was assaulted.
It was just
right
a
there.
vibe. It's just like enough of like just being an asshole that.
But
like,
you
gets
were
you,
being
like,
an asshole,
at
and
least
you
the
were
slap
trying
on
to
the
make her
arm,
look
yeah.
like a fool, and she was feeling like she was a fool.
But he's being
And while it doesn't
goofball.
fit this situation, sometimes that kind of assholishness is Schrodinger's asshole. I probably pronounced that close, but do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? So Schrodinger's cat is this thought experiment where there's a cat in a box, we're going to kill it, but we don't know if it's currently alive or dead, so they say it exists in both states. Schrodinger's asshole is when you're an asshole to someone or you do something assholish and you decide whether you were kidding or not based on the other person's reaction. And when you're on the other side of that or someone does that much, it's like, well, that's just being an asshole. And it's not fun for both people. You're being an asshole to amuse yourself.
Yeah. I was just being silly. I didn't realize that I didn't know how it would make her feel at the time. I learned afterwards because she slapped me. But 17. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And but I learned my lesson. Not to embarrass her in front of other people. Now that I do that same joke in private, and it's all okay because no one was embarrassed. No one looked a fool. But yeah, she straightened me out that day. I deserved that slap. Very public assault.
I don't know
though.
if I love the assault response.
I wonder what would happen if the tables were turned and she played a little word game with me and I'd have pow knocked a few teeth out.
She gave you the slap. That she doesn't get to be mad, in my opinion. You didn't warrant.
She was mad.
And the anger.
I got
it's
both.
like you could be mad, but if you got the slap, like I don't think you were being a goofball, and like I think being a goofball is still a thing, and it's kind of like your way of like you wanted to interact, but maybe there wasn't anything to talk about, and like you dish it out. You could take it too. She could dish it out to you. I'm assuming. So then it's just like fun and it's banter. And I would not mesh well with a girl that if I was like or whatever dumb thing I'm doing, if they were like, "That's stupid, you're being loud," like I need I'm always a goofball. Like I'll stand up and I'll just like kind of scream in my house. Like
she was okay with the goofball stuff. She was just as goofy as I was, and we had a good time. But that was an example of me doing something stupid and paying the price for it. I deserved that slap. I fully admit that. I was an asshole, but I didn't mean to be. The end result was not what I was going for. I didn't read the situation. I didn't know how that situation was going to end.
Yeah, I see.